I've gone live. Sorry about that. Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and I'm here today with somebody I am a big fan of, who I've been watching for a while. Shaun Stackhouse, man, what's going on?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be on the channel, my friend.
Thank you very much for joining me. So, we've it's taken us some time due to different time zones and having a pretty sleepy, dozy weekend, but we finally made it. We were just talking about we found out about the synopsis for the Zack Snyder basically Justice League Part 1 and 2. But first of all, do you want to just introduce yourself, tell people about your channel and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Shaun Stackhouse. You can find me over at Shaun Stackhouse Reacts on YouTube. I'm at Shaun Stackhouse on Twitter. My DMs are open. Basically, it's a pop culture channel, man. I am a DC-loving, red-blooded, man. I love everything DC. We veer off into pretty much every pop culture lane that I can get my brain around, music, movies, TV, toys, whatever. And
cool.
It's a lot of fun.
What music are you into, man? I didn't even know you were into.
Oh yeah, I'm a musician, man. I've been a musician since I was 13 years old. My band, it's called Haunting Heather, and we've released a debut album. It sold out over in Europe, and
nice.
Yeah, we're still. It's kind of the Def Leppard curse. We're still working on that next album.
So it's mainly kind of like rock and this kind of
rock pop.
Rock pop.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, like keyboards and guitars and drums and vocals and bass and that type of stuff. I guess people would consider it AOR or melodic rock, even though some of it can get pretty heavy. But there are a number of ballads.
Cool. Have you got a bass guitar in the back?
Oh, we've got both.
Around you, because I need you to play the Justice League riff.
Oh.
While I'm reading this out.
No, I'm afraid I don't know that. You know what?
That'll be awesome. That's the way we have to do it, man.
I know.
No, I was saying just before we went on live that I wish I could listen to what's it called, the when you can play the songs while having the headphones on, or play something to hear the sound while having the headphones on.
Exactly.
I don't know how to do that on this Monopoly though, because otherwise I would actually put on a little Justice League riff to Zack Snyder's magnum opus. Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Let's do this.
This is going to be hopefully quite fun. All right, so this is going to be time. I'm your host.
Oh, that was my computer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Okay.
I just wanted to go thumbs up the video really quick.
Cool. So, can you see it?
Yep.
Should we make it bigger for you, or can you read it?
You know what? I can expand my page. Yeah, we should be good.
Okay, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to read everything because I haven't read this yet. I've been trying to stay away from it so we can react to it together. At any point that you want me to pause, just let me know and I'll stop. And also, by the way, I watched our last video and sometimes I don't shut up. So if you want me to shut up, just let me know. And if I'm talking a bit too much.
You were making a lot of points, and when it comes to DC, man, I love to listen. I just love to be in the middle of the conversation. So it's all good.
Yeah, we did a great like it was just a long two DC fanboys just like
Yeah.
fanboying out about their Superman love. What was it called again? The
Oh,
the
uh,
future of Superman,
like
or
the fate of Superman,
the
or
fate of
something.
Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4.5 hours, man. Four and a
yeah,
half.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start from the beginning. So I'm just going to read this red note in case it has any relevance. So everything you're about to read was put together by Zack Snyder, Chris Terrio, and featured art by Jim Lee. It was the original story layout for Justice League 2 and 2A. This was created in 2016 before they rewrote the first Justice League 2017, which is now as the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League. All of this is subject to change should Snyder be allowed to continue his story. But this is his original story. Okay. So Justice League Part 2 and 2A. Although originally pitched as one film, we believe the character arcs of our heroes and villains along the epic battle with Darkseid, which unites the League, the world, and the entire DC universe, warrants two films. However, this does not mean that you have two films centered. I'm just reading like in epic voice, just some notes for some reason. So let me get through this bit quickly. So it does not mean that you have two films centered on Darkseid's invasion. Rather, Justice League 2 would be a very grounded, personal, and character-driven film that would follow the Justice League both together and separately as they mend old wounds on the road to becoming better and stronger heroes, while Lex Luthor recruits a league of his own, made up of revenge-driven villains introduced in the hero solo films. So Dr. Maru, Wonder Woman 2017, Leonard Snart, The Flash 2018, Orm, and Black Manta, Aquaman 2018, and the Riddler, Ben Affleck's The Batman. These villains would link all of the DC films together. I like that.
So, but they were going with Captain Cold as opposed to the Reverse Flash for Barry, or
yeah, they were going for Captain Cold. I think these are supposed to be like very, like the human villains, right? Like
so
a bunch
like
of
like
villains.
the first line of like their rogues gallery. Okay,
Yeah,
I got that.
and I like that because it's kind of like a little bit deep cut. It's not choosing the obvious.
Sure.
You know, like Dr. Maru, Dr. Poison, which is a really deep cut for Wonder Woman. I was shocked that she was even in Wonder Woman 1. That
When
was
I
good.
saw that movie, I was like, I mean, honestly, I was like, I've heard that name before. I don't think they made this up for just this movie, and I had to look it up. It's like, oh damn, okay,
Yeah,
that deep cut.
yeah, it is a deep cut. But yeah, but it worked. I think she should have been fleshed out a little bit more, but it worked. Um, and yeah, Leonard Snart, which is I didn't know that's Captain Cold's name, Leonard Snart.
Yep, Leonard Snart.
Oh, okay.
Mick Rourke
Um,
is fire. Man, I can't think of his name, but yeah, the
yeah.
dude with fire, Mick Rory, Captain Cold's partner in the Flash TV show. Well, they were.
Hmm. And I mean, yeah, if they fleshed these guys out, I don't know why they'd have Orm and Black Manta. It seems to me like Black Manta would have fitted better in this, and Riddler would be cool to see. You know what their version of the Riddler would have looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Where you get that demented Riddler in the Batman, which it seems like he's going to be a cross between the Riddler and Hush, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, no, the Riddler in that looks like amazing, but I guess this would have been a much more, I don't know, cartoony. I guess like
Traditional Riddler.
yeah, like a more traditional Riddler. That's what I mean, not cartoony. It's Zack Snyder. It's obviously going to be dark and edgy.
Yeah,
A Riddler with a like the question mark like kind of cut into his head by a by a knife, like by a blade, like.
Of course, Zack Snyder. Everybody has to be branded by something.
Yeah. All right, so let's continue. Like Empire Strikes Back and the last Harry Potter films, Justice League 2 would end with a cliffhanger, revealing only at the end of the film that Lex and his league are connected to Darkseid. Then flash forwarding 5 years into the future, where
What?
Darkseid has taken the Earth. So wait. So is the first film they're fighting these guys alone? Like Darkseid isn't even in it.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds like
I,
to me.
I think that's quite a leap. I think
Yeah.
that's quite a leap in storytelling. I mean, first of all, like generally speaking, the Legion of Doom tries to stay away from Darkseid as much as possible because they know, like, no matter how powerful the Legion of Doom is, Darkseid is going to whoop that ass.
Mm.
You know, Lex is maniacal. You know, like he's manic. He wants to be in control all the time. And if you bring in another alpha dog like Darkseid, Lex is not going to like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, this Lex seems like he's going to become like, Dracula's Igor, right?
Mhm.
To Darkseid. Do you know who Igor is?
Yes.
Yeah, to Dracula, right? So it
Yep.
seems to me like that's what they're going with Lex Luthor, which that really is far off. Because I kind of tolerate Lex Luthor in BVS. No, I don't tolerate him. Sorry, let me not speak ill
I
of
can't
Lex
stand
Luthor. I know you can't stand him. I like him. I actually like him. I genuinely do. I think Jesse Eisenberg and Ben Affleck were miscast, and they did a good job, but it wasn't worth all of the hate that came with their casting. Do you understand what I mean by that?
No. The hate outweighed. I mean, there was way too much hate for sure. Just like I can tell you that I'm not excited for the Snyder Cut, and the Snyder Cult, what have you. But still, I can sit here and tell you that there's way too much hate surrounding all of this, man. It's just a movie. We're either gonna like it or we're not gonna like it. And BVS wasn't a perfect film, but I enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
I just didn't think like Jesse Eisenberg. I know that he wasn't going for Lex Senior. He was going for more of an Alexander, but he seemed like. I mean, he was a polar opposite of Lex. I mean, he was like he needed Ritalin. He needed like a constant Ritalin pill like every 5 minutes.
but I understood what they were doing because, all right, look, Lex Luthor. Let's talk about it. What is Lex Luthor? We're two Superman fanboys, right? What to you is like? There's got to be things that you'd like to have, things that you absolutely must have in a Lex Luthor character, and things that are just that you don't want, right? So what makes up a Lex Luthor character for you? Because
for me, Lex Luthor honestly thinks that he is the hero of the story.
Right.
He honestly believes that Superman is such a big threat and that Lex is the only person with the resources to stop him. And
is that necessary? That's a necessary component of Lex Luthor for you.
For me, yes.
Okay, interesting. I don't agree, but
that's okay.
Yeah, go on.
I think Lex has to have. First of all, let me say that the further that we can get away from like the real estate Gene Hackman Lex Luthor, the better. Like the old Max Fleischer cartoons showed Lex Luthor, basically as a mad scientist, and I would like to really kind of revisit the mad scientist Lex Luthor, which they've kind of done through the Justice League cartoons and stuff like that. but I feel like mad scientist with a side ambition of becoming president of the United States, and then the world, things like that, all the while putting things in place to protect everybody and himself, mostly himself, from Superman.
I get it, and that's you're talking about now a story, right? Like that would be your ideal story for Lex.
Yes.
But that what you described isn't like that is Lex Luthor. Like if it isn't that, then it's not. Do you know what I mean? Because you're saying you're saying basically that Jesse Eisenberg isn't Lex Luthor. So what I want to understand from you is what are the core characteristics, like the things about Lex Luthor that have to be there, otherwise it's not Lex Luthor. That's what I'm trying to get.
I can answer that in one actor's name, Michael Rosenbaum.
Okay. But that's just a version of Lex Luthor.
That's just a version of Lex, but I think he has a little bit of everything that I kind of like to see in Lex. And Michael Rosenbaum, man, he had the heart, but then he could go stone cold at like a second later.
I love Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. I think he was awesome. So no arguments from me there. But
so what about you? I mean, like,
all right, I'll tell you my core things so that maybe it will get. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So for me, Lex, he doesn't have to be a businessman, but I like him as a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just put that as like something that is nice, but it's not necessary, right? So he has to be a businessman. All right. So the things that I think are core to it for me is that he's a genius, like the smartest man on earth.
Yes, absolutely.
That he believes that, because you were saying that he believes himself to be the hero of the story. I think that's sometimes true, but not necessary. I think the thing that really, really is different about him is that he believes that Superman, he's jealous, essentially, or envious of Superman's very existence. It negates his existence because he sees himself as the Superman. He's the brilliant one. He's the genius. He's the genius. He's the one who ultimately, like Lex Luthor, if it wasn't for Superman, would actually be spending his time trying to save humanity and trying to use his intellect and whatever to improve humanity. But just because Superman's there and Superman is doing all these things and he's getting all of the attention or whatever from Lex Luthor, that drives Lex Luthor crazy, and he must destroy him because of that. And that's it. That's for me, Lex Luthor. He's a super genius, probably the smartest man in the world, and then that characteristic. And any character that falls into line with that, for me, is Lex Luthor. So Lex Luthor, to me, could even be, I'm not going to go there because then I'll destroy my own point. But but I'll say this: like Lex Luthor can be young, he can be old,
sure.
He can be a businessman, he can be a scientist, he can be a politician. He can, he has to be something of high standing. He can't just be like a bum. Like he has to be something. He could have money that comes from his parents, or he could have made his money by himself. Any of those things are not necessary components. They're just like ways you can do your version of Lex Luthor. But that super genius and that motivation is so like the important thing to me. And that's why, for me, I think Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was basically this, and I'm going to go back to the Igor thing, by the way, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was this millennial modern version of Lex Luthor. Essentially, it was a Lex Luthor that exists as like a modern tech billionaire, or like what's it called? What's the state where they do all the technology, or the place where?
Oh, California.
No. Bloody hell. Where like Facebook and Google and all of those places.
Yeah,
are.
that's all. It's out in I forget it's something. It's a place in California. It's called Silicon
Valley. There you go. Silicon Valley. There you go.
Valley, yeah.
Oh, right. It is in Cali. All right. Sorry. So Silicon Valley, right? He's like a Silicon Valley tech billionaire. My problem is his father shouldn't have made him rich in BVS. He should have been a self-made person. If he was a self-made person, I think the whole story would have been stronger. But like his genius, because he's so clever. But he was like that kind of billionaire, and I believe he was a little bit autistic as well. Like he was so smart that he had become almost autistic, and therefore it was like, it was that kind of person, and he was also like a psychopath as well, basically. So it's that type of person.
He had a lot of stuff going on.
Right. He was that type of person, but with Lex's motivations, where he just hated and wanted to destroy Superman, no matter what, even if it meant destroying the world. Right? He just had to destroy Superman. So I thought that was an interesting take, but they should have swapped actors, or they should have used another actor for it.
I agree, but then I guess they never really made his motives super clear about why. And I mean, Zack Snyder, I think, was just basing it off of, the story, the rivalry between Superman and Lex Luthor goes back, decades and decades. So people are just going to accept it. We don't really need to go into any exposition. But
to explain why, I think he did explain why, but I think that again, that Jesse Eisenberg's performance was too distracting, so people weren't listening to him. Do you know what I mean? I think after a while, people just switched off because it was too, like, that kind of thing. And if it was somebody a little bit calmer who knew when to turn it up, and when to turn it down, I think people would have heard more where this character was actually coming from. I think basically he was like, he had some theological reason, for hating Superman. He saw Superman as this god, and he couldn't deal with the fact that there was a being in this world, given that he sees himself as the smartest, most powerful because of his wealth person in the world. He couldn't deal with anything in this world being greater than him.
So it came down to,
it came down to the classical motivation of Luthor, but I think you're right. Put through this theological lens, really. But the thing I was going to say is, it looks to me like they've turned him now into some Igor character to Darkseid, and I don't know how I'll feel about that, because, as you said, Lex Luthor should be his own person, right? He doesn't bow down.
Never do that.
Yeah, he doesn't bow down. He was
forcibly made to do it, like in the Justice League, Darkseid, like Apocalypse or whatever it was. But even then, he was like slipping information to the Resistance, and so.
That was kind of weak version of Lex as well, though, wasn't it?
It was, and Batman was the one that was like the right hand man. I was like, oh damn, they broke Batman. Okay,
All right, should we go? We'll go on. So,
Yes, let's do it.
all right. So, like, it was like X Empire, fast forward, when Dark Side on Earth. So the heroes arcs throughout Part 2 and 2A. So um, Superman with Lois's help, the back end of the dead Superman will learn to become Clark Kent again, feeling more human than ever as he and Lois start a family. Wonder Woman will reconnect with the Amazons and her mother, eventually becoming their new queen and rejoining these isolationist warriors with the outside world. Aquaman, with the help of Mera, will bring the seven kingdoms together, becoming the one true king, building a new alliance between the oceans and the surface. The Flash will free himself from the past, releasing his father from prison, and with Cyborg's help, and learning how to master his time traveling abilities, literally becoming able to be in two places at once. Cyborg will evolve.
I have a problem with that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't mean to cut you off. The Flash doesn't need Cyborg's help to learn about the Speed Force and master his ability. I think that is just a cop out. They're trying to find something for Cyborg to do, and I think that's just crap.
Yeah. Well, it could work, I guess. To give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the Flash. No one understands the Speed Force like the Flash, or any form of the Flash. Jay Garrick, Wally West, Barry Allen. They understand the Speed Force because it's what runs through them. And Cyborg, I mean, what does he know about the Speed Force? I don't know. I think that's kind of weak misdirection in my opinion, but it's all good.
I don't know if Barry's supposed to be a scientist in this version or not. Do you know what I mean? Like he at the end he was studying like criminal. He wasn't studying forensics, right? Do you remember at the end of Justice League?
Yeah.
So Batman gives him the money to go study like police something.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's an actual scientist, and that bothers me. Like Barry Allen should be a forensics guy.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you 100%.
And I don't mind them meshing Barry Allen and Wally West together. No. How do you feel about? Oh, you don't mind either.
No, because I mean they kind of did that even with like the 1990s John Wesley Ship Flash TV show. They kind of meshed Wally West and Barry Allen characteristics together. So I'm kind of used to it by now.
They did it. Oh yeah, no, they didn't do it in the animated show. Actually, they just made it Wally West. But because the thing is, I can see I like Barry Allen in certain contexts. But I do think that, Wally West has the more kind of fun personality, but Barry Allen's got the much better origin story. So
I agree.
So to me, I just prefer having them kind of mixed together. But the other thing I was going to mention, because I sent it to you just in case I'd forget I sent it to you on Twitter, is that, and this is what I want to look at Superman, as a lens of Superman through, is that Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman for one basic reason. I've kind of boiled it down to this one thing now. It's because he sees him as an alien rather than the ultimate American immigrant.
Facts. Yes, I will agree with that 100%.
So I'm reading even this line where he's like, he can learn to become Clark Kent again. Why would Superman have to learn to become Clark Kent again?
Clark Kent is who he is, just like Batman is who Bruce Wayne is. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Superman's suit is the mask. I mean,
I think he's more Clark Kent than he is Superman.
Yes, absolutely.
To me, anyway. Or at least the best versions of him are right. Where you've got the best books, whether it's Chris Reeves or it's like certain versions in the comics, All-Star Superman. I think whenever he's more Clark than he is Superman is where he's a more interesting character, I think.
I agree because see, like Clark doesn't need anything to be Superman. He could be wearing Nikes and sweatpants and a t-shirt, and you know, if he needs to go into full-blown Superman mode, he can. He doesn't need anything. Nothing gives him, as long as the sun is yellow, he's good to go.
He's good to go. Yeah, it's true. But I wanted to just mention that to you as a kind of thing because I'm going to come back to that often. All right, so let's go through this a little bit faster now. So I'm going to do a page at a time, and then we can talk about our notes after. Cool. So this is page 2, I hope. And it starts off at the Louvre in Paris. Diana and Menelope, the Amazon who came to warn Diana about Steppenwolf, discover there may be a way to remember the path back to Themyscira. Diana must use the lasso on herself to unlock her mind. It's a dangerous process, but Diana wants to help Menelope home, and Diana wants to see her mother again, even if she might reject her. Diana puts the lasso on, and suddenly she's overwhelmed by visions. In the beginning, they're wonderful. For the first time in over a century, Diana sees her home, soaring over the island. She sees the Amazons and finally her mother. But then her visions grow dark. Diana sees herself as the god of war in battle with Superman. As she kills him, Diana cries out. Menelope frees Diana from the lasso. Despite the pain and confusion, Diana remembers the way home. In a central city courthouse, Barry is at a hearing, thanks to Cyborg, Iris, and a troop of lawyers from Wayne. The state has examined new evidence that Barry and Vic have presented and agreed to reopen Henry Allen's case. Barry is elated. Along an underwater continual shelf, Aquaman and Mera are in a violent battle with the last, of the Seven Kingdoms, the Unseen. It explodes around tidal pools and active lava flows. Arthur has the seventh king on the ground, his trident at his throat. The seventh king tells him to kill him. Arthur says he wants an alliance, but the seventh king refuses. Arthur leaves frustrated. The last kingdom refuses to unite. In the Batcave, Cyborg upgrades the cave, even providing a female AI voice for Alfred, who has become a father figure of sorts, looking at the empty cave around them. Cyborg as Alfred asks Alfred, why is he never home? Alfred solemnly replies, because then he'd have to face himself. Batman and Lois on the hunt for Lex Luthor. Batman moves deep into the Canadian wilderness Batman moves deep into the Canadian wilderness doing second, following up on a lead that Lex may have been sighted in one of the remote towns. He fights his way through a secret location only to discover not Luthor hiding out, but the Riddler. Awake for days, maybe weeks, Riddler has a long unkempt beard, his fingers dirty, his rantings written across the walls of his cabin. He looks at Batman, a man possessed. Luthor asks the question. I had to know the answer. Lois is also on Luthor's trail. She located Dr. Maru's lair in the Brazilian jungle. Lois writes everything in her journal, keeping it offline and private. She grows pale as she realizes who Maru is and what Lex might be up to. He's forming a team of his own. Back in the Canadian wilderness, Batman faces off against the Riddler. He tells Bruce about Lex, how Lex came to him for information. Lex presented the anti-life equation, the riddle of life itself, and the Riddler solved it. He knows what it can do, and once it's unlocked, Lex makes life meaningless. The Riddler raises a gun, but points it at his own head. Time to solve the last riddle. Batman. Batman shocked as Riddler kills himself.
What the? Okay. I mean, I've been trying to follow,
my jokes were bad.
I've been trying to follow along, man, but you know, I mean, so much of this is like, what?
There were some points I liked in it.
I did too. I did too, but then you get to like the anti-life equation, and Riddler's like, kaboom, and I'm like,
why would you kill Riddler like that? That's such a waste. That is such a ridiculous waste of a character. Like, you just kill Riddler like that. So there were bits I liked in it.
yeah.
Obviously I'm a bit biased on this, my Wonder Woman love, and I like, that I obviously like the idea of, Lex Luthor having a rogues gallery. So that bit I kind of was into. I don't know why Lois is hunting anyone. Do you know what I mean? Why is she hunting villains?
I don't know. That's not Lois's. That's not her thing, man. I mean, she hunts down stories.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, dude, I don't know. Snyder. If this is what Snyder presented Warner Brothers, no wonder Warner Brothers panicked. They're like,
yeah, this is crazy.
You're using our characters' names. I'm happy about that, but I think that you've failed to connect their names with their personality types.
Yeah, it's a little bit overwhelmingly crazy. I don't know what quite is going on. Well, again, my Wonder Woman bias. I like the fact that she fights Superman as the god of war in battle. I like that they gave her some respect in that. Like, I don't know how big that battle would have been.
It should have been pretty massive, man. Because, I mean, I still maintain that after a while, Superman can whoop Diana's ass. But I mean, it's going to be a long, long battle.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be a long battle anyway. But you might be right. But again, magic weapons. So, but we had this debate, like, guys, like it was a properly nerdy debate. Yeah, where it started losing me is like everything else, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the Superman Wonder Woman fight was fun. I like the fact that they brought back Dr. Maru and they have Riddler and everything like that. That's kind of cool that they have. And I like the fact Riddler figures out the anti-life equation. That's kind of cool. Gives him some, like, he figures out the riddle. But, like, isn't the anti-life equation a bit above his
pay grade? Yeah, very much so. And then, like, what I've been hearing about, like, the Snyder Cut that we're going to get is that that Bruce and Lois have a kid, and then
wait! Don't spoil it for me, man.
No, I don't know.
These are exciting stuff too.
These are just rumors that I've heard, from just YouTubers. So I mean, nobody knows for sure, But Bruce and Lois have a kid, while all the while, Bruce is mourning, supposedly mourning Clark, and something happens, and then Superman ends up raising the kid as his own, and I don't know, man. I hope those are just rumors, because I don't even understand that. But then again, that kind of lines up with all of that, as far as with the way it doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, that page was a lot. I didn't know what was going on, really. So it's hard to even really say anything about that. Like,
Yeah.
other than, well, there was some cool images. I like the fact that there was something else that bothered me in it, but I can't, I don't know. Yeah, everything else seems fine, I guess. But the main thing was Riddler killing himself. I was just like, what? All right,
Why
so
would Batman and Lois go off looking for Lex Luthor together? I mean,
yeah,
why?
yeah,
Batman doesn't need Lois to tag along. Batman can do it by himself.
right. That was weird. That was definitely weird. I was like, so Lois is a superhero now, or what's going on? Why is Snyder just injects Lois into the weirdest places in his movies? Like, ever since Man of Steel, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why is he, injecting her into, she's going on the ship in Man of Steel. They ask for her. She has to put the little Superman object, or a Kryptonian object to start the world. It was all bizarre.
I know.
At least in BVS, she was doing what what she was supposed to.
Yeah. So after reading that, are you with me on just firing everybody and starting fresh after Flashpoint? Because
not yet, man. I'm still into it, man. I'm still into it. I'm waiting to see where Lois gets it on with Batman. That's gonna be the bit. You're gonna have to give me a funky, a funk beat to that.
You're gonna have to get your car wah pedal and get your chick wah, and it's like, man, something's going down. Alfred, don't, if there's a sock on the clock upside in Wayne Manor, don't come down.
So Justice League. Okay, so was that Justice League 1?
Apparently.
No, that couldn't have been. All right, it's because this is page 3, I think. So the Justice League United. We open with the Justice League in acting during a natural disaster, working as efficient, powerful team they've become weeks after Justice League 1. They act together, they save lives. No, this can't be the right page. Can't be. This looks more familiar. So I think I confused the pages.
Well, that's what happens when it looks like you have a Mac.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman and Manalipe arrive in Themyscira. Diana's unsure what her mother's reaction will be, but a tearful, overjoyed Hippolyta embraces her. The Queen declares there will be a celebration unlike any other in Amazon history. Her daughter is home. The Oceans, Aquaman and Mera bring the final kingdom of the Seven, the Unseen, into alliance for the first time. This sounds like the end of the fucking film. I've completely confused. There's something going on.
What about the trench, though, man? I mean, we were promised the movie about the trench.
Yeah, no, it's bloody hell. This is annoying me now. Okay, that's the end. This is confusing. Maybe that is. I don't I put them in order of how they were posted.
I mean, as messed up as everything is, man, maybe that is the correct order.
Maybe it's, page 3. All right, fine. I'll try it this way. Maybe it works. So, the Justice League United. We open with the Justice League in acting during a natural disaster, working as the efficient, powerful team they've become. Weeks after Justice League 1. They act together, they save lives, but they're refugees, so political tension is high. But they act together, but they're refugees. So political tension is high. The world is on edge. In the aftermath, the Justice League regroup at the only headquarters they know, the Batcave. Why? Why is that their headquarters? It's
I mean,
Batman.
it could be a Hall of Justice by now, right?
Yeah, like, all right. Flash is enthusiastic whilst, like, why would that be their headquarters?
First of all, Batman is not. Batman is a loner. He's not going to be loaning out his cave to like the entire league that come and go whenever they please.
Yeah,
You know
like,
that's going to. It's going to bring more attention to what's going on. You know, and like you're going to blow Batman's secret hideout. Batman's going to kill you all.
yeah, that's a secret. Like, that's a really secret place where he keeps plans to kill the Justice League. I don't think he's gonna want them like just willy nilly coming in. Like, all right, fine. They're in the Batcave for some reason rather than the Hall of Justice or anywhere else. Flash is enthusiastic while Superman remains a bit distant, at least with Batman. And Aquaman is facing a continued skepticism of the surface world and his involvement in it by the people of Atlantis. Wonder Woman relates to Arthur. Her people abandoned this world long ago. It is clear that although the League is united, the world is not. The League goes back to their individual lives to mend old wounds, except for Batman, who's dealing with fresh ones, left alone in the cave. Bruce and Lois secretly meets. Bruce secretly meets with Lois, both of them still searching for Lex Luthor. There's tension between them since Superman has returned. The meeting ends after Lois tells Bruce that Superman needs her more than ever. Bruce knows Lois is hiding something else. The meeting ends after Lois tells Bruce that Superman needs her more than ever. Okay, fine. Lex Luthor recruiting his own league. Meanwhile, deep in the Brazilian jungle, this sounds like the first page. Meanwhile, deep in the Brazilian jungle, Lex locates Dr. Maru, last seen in Wonder Woman 2017. Still alive, experimenting on herself, prolonging her life and testing new chemical weapons on unfortunate human lab rats. Oh, good. Human lab rats. That's good. Like an obsessed stalker, Maru has spent decades collecting information and artifacts on Diana and the Amazons. Now that Diana has become known to the world, Lex offers Maru a chance at revenge, the same revenge he wants on Diana's friends, Superman and Batman. Maru accepts. Lex smiles. Then let it begin. Why would Dr. Maru want revenge on Diana? From Wonder Woman 1, just because she stopped her plan.
I would have to rewatch Wonder Woman 1. It's been a while. But didn't Wonder Woman do some... I don't know.
She saved her. She basically let her live.
But when you're dealing with these crazy crazy people... Oh, you got Akasha... Akasha. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly in the chat. What's up, Sean? Hey, it's up to your channel.
Man, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems reasonable that she'd want revenge. I guess she's a villain, so she must want to. I would have thought she'd want to find out where, I don't know, like Themyscira was or something like that, rather than revenge since Diana let her live. But okay, I'll go with it. She's a villain. It's fine. In the Atacama Desert, with Maru's help, Lex breaks Orm and Black Manta out of the desert prison where they were imprisoned at the end of Aquaman 2018. Outside of Central City in Iron Heights Penitentiary, Lex finds Len Snart where he was left in Flash 2018 and offers Len a chance to advance his weaponry and take down the fastest man alive. Intercut. Lex and the villains with the Justice League returning to their lives. In Metropolis, Superman asked Lois when she was going to tell him. Tell you what, Clark. Superman says he can't hear he can hear the second heartbeat, and she shouldn't call him Clark. Clark is dead. The world believes that too. Superman mistakes Lois' hesitation for fear. It won't hurt you, he says.
What? I did not understand a single thing that just. What?
Wait. Sorry. Is he saying that Clark Superman is always Superman now, and Clark is dead?
Apparently so. But yet Clark can come back after the death and return of Superman, no questions asked, right? But he can't come back after this?
Wait a second. So let me get this straight. So this is the arc, right, towards Superman finally becoming Superman.
And leaving Clark behind.
No, because he's supposed to become the classical optimistic Superman by the end of this five story arc by Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder sees Superman as somebody who isn't even got the disguise with Clark Kent. He hates Clark Kent. It's not even Superman he hates. He hates Clark Kent. That's who he hates.
He hates everything associated with that character.
I don't think any of it makes sense to him, and he can't just deal. I think I was watching Jodie's Corner the other day, and he said something actually that really made sense to me, and I was like, say I don't like Spider-Man, right? Mm. You know, and this is what he was saying. He doesn't like Spider-Man. But if you're doing a Spider-Man film, you'll respect the law, right? You'll respect the law, and you'll try and make the best Spider-Man film you can make. So that's what I don't understand what his problem is. Just respect the law. Stop trying to create your own fucking character. Like, what is that?
Jodie's ever wanted, man. I mean, it breaks Jodie's heart when he has to give these scathing reviews on DC, because he is like, DC to him is what DC is to me. You know, it breaks his heart when like, all you have to do is respect the lore, man, and follow the actual outlines of the characters, and then you're good.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna make. We haven't even seen fucking Clark Kent yet. Up until this point, we have still not seen Clark Kent. If it was up to Zack Snyder, we've had Man of Steel, BVS. All right, you saw Clark Kent in BVS just walking around on a ship saying nothing,
and you saw it,
and then somebody tells him how cool Batman is, and somebody asks him to punch Batman, and that's Clark Kent. That's all you saw. All you saw is him standing around with his square jaw. That, you know, like, he must have had 3 lines in the whole fucking movie.
I know. Clark Kent is just as important to that duality as Superman is.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. And then you're just going to get rid of him. So now I understand what he means by he has to find Clark Kent by the end of it.
That's wild, man. That's wild, because you for this character, you don't. He's doing things backwards, you know, and upside down. This is not how you approach this character.
No. And I'm going to be fair to him. Some of this, I do like the fact that he's using. You know, as I said, I like the fact he's using all the villains, and the way he's using the villains. I thought it's kind of cool. I like the Dr. Maru experimenting on, you know, because as a Wonder Woman fan, Dr. Maru, Dr. Poison, I've read quite a bit on her, and she should have been a really cool villain in Wonder Woman. That's what she does. Like, she creates these like crazy what do you call it? Like military grade, kind of like what do you call, like mustard gas? What is it?
Oh,
It's
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but not mustard gas itself, but like
Pretty-
that kind of weapon.
Something
Um,
chemical. Yeah.
Chemical weapon. Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's too early in the morning. So she creates all these chemical weapons, but she tests them on humans. That's
Yep.
what she does. She'll put them in like, a room or whatever, and like trap it off and like just test it on like the humans to see like how it impacts them. And
Mhm.
sometimes she's got like things where she'll go into the mystical realms and like mix science with like mysticism and all of that kind of stuff. But in any case, she's cool, right? So I like what he's doing with her, and I liked what he was doing with a number of like getting all of these guys together. But it's just stupid. Like he's such a Batman fanboy. You can just see like why
Oh,
the fuck would they meet in the Batcave?
I don't know. I don't know. It makes
Other than Batman's cool. I'm a Batman fanboy, so I'm gonna make Batman as important as possible in my story.
and
Basically, yeah.
I have huge problems with that because Batman, like I said, he's a loner, and yeah, he might let them use the cave for a little bit, but I mean, Batman is not going to want like them all up in his
All up in
man.
his shit. They're not, and he's not holding fucking, like let's get together meetings, every Friday. Do you know what I mean? It's not. They're not playing Justice League, fantasy football league on
Exactly.
every Thursday.
Exactly.
Like Magic the Gathering and shit. Like this is bullshit, man. You don't do that with Batman. He's a fucking loner, and like as a Batman fanboy as well that he is, that seems so puzzling that he can't even get that basic. It's not like he's saying in this part like the world is fine, right? This isn't this isn't the what's it called, the Mad Max future world that he's talking about, right? Like the
Yeah, it's not the nightmare.
nightmare universe. He's talking about the normal one. So the Hall of Justice or something should be up by now, shouldn't it?
I would think so, 100%. I mean, and the fact that it's not, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, even the look. If you even want to just like give me the Watchtower, man, I mean, I'd be okay with the Watchtower, but there's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have everybody just chilling in the Batcave. It's just.
And then what was all of this stuff about Bruce and Lois? Like, he needs me and all of that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you, man, that sounds like the rumors that I was hearing about how they end up having this kid, and oh boy.
Secretly meets with. All right, let's go to page 4, right? Unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, man, I'm invested in this. Let's figure this shit out.
So let's see. All right, page 4. I think this is page 4. I hope this is in order. So the Justice League members unite with their family. Let me see if page 5 makes a little bit more sense, because that's quite a leap. It does. It's like it's none of the. I'm trying to think about it with each of the different sides, and none of them make sense with each other.
I mean, maybe that's the way that Zack writes. Maybe that's why his films are so disheveled sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So it has to be number 4, because. All right. So let's try this way. The Justice League members unite with their families. Wonder Woman and Menelope arrive in. Okay, I have to do the voice. Arrive in Themyscira. Diana's unsure what her mother's reaction will be. but a tearful and overjoyed Hippolyta embraces her. The queen declares there will be a celebration unlike any other in Amazon history. Her daughter is home. In the oceans, Aquaman and Mera bring the final kingdom of the Seven, the unseen, into their alliance. For the first time since Atlantis sank, it is once again united. In Central City, for the first time since he was a kid, there is no wall of glass between Barry and... This can't be the fucking... this has to be the
it
end.
can be. It can be.
It has to be the end. All right. And his father, Henry Allen, is released from prison, exonerated. Barry's about to tell his father who he is. In Metropolis, Lois returns to Superman, tells him she will accept Clark is gone, but she has to go, still on the trail of Lex. In Gotham, Batman returns from the wilderness, shaken by Riddler's proclamation. So this was the third one. All right. Intercut with Lois discovering from General Swanzik that Lex has the 3 mother boxes. Oh no.
Of course he
What?
does.
What?
Of course he does. Why not?
Lex activates his plan. At the 3 Rivers, helicopters survey the area. Lex is on the scene. His team elsewhere, but in contact with him. Lex activates the boxes. His true plan to destroy the Justice League and take the secret power called the anti-life equation for his own. It will give him power over all living life. The anti-life equation glows as Lex turns on the boxes. Cyborg blinks, feeling a horrible emptiness as the influx of data stops for the first time since he first went online. What? And a boom tube erupts in front of Lex, surprising him, emerging from the portal. Desaad, the horrific, sadistic servant of his master. Darkseid, who emerges behind him. Darkseid takes the power of the anti-life equation for himself. Superman versus Darkseid. In the Batcave, Superman, Batman, and Lois regroup. They learn of Darkseid's arrival. Superman tells Batman that this is a fight among the gods. Doesn't see himself as a fucking god. All right, she's my world, he tells Bruce. Protect her. Superman flies off to confront Darkseid. After Superman leaves, Bruce and Lois argue. Bruce knows she's pregnant. Lois ends the argument by telling Bruce, "You're not the father." She tries to tell Bruce about what she's discovered with what Lex is planning, but he won't listen because he's so interested in her loins. At this, no, that's me. That was my little flourish there. At the 3 Rivers. At the 3 Rivers, taking in Darkseid's arrival, Lex tells Darkseid that Darkseid has the power to kill Superman. Darkseid moves forward, acknowledging Lex. He says to Lex, "I don't want him dead. I want Superman to submit." The girl, says Lex. She's the key to breaking his spirit. Superman arrives, and a battle with Darkseid erupts. Maybe they had bits to fill in.
I hope so. Because we're jumping from like big piece to big piece, and it's like, really? All right.
Yeah, this is very staccato. I don't know quite what to make of the bit where it's just like there's Darkseid and there's Cyborg. I don't know how Cyborg got there, why he's there.
Cyborg could have boom tubed if he had that mother box technology inside of him.
No, I know, but why would he think to go there to confront anyone? Like, why is Darkseid coming? Where there was no introduction to why even Darkseid has come here. I guess the anti-life equation. I don't know. But yeah, it's
a hot mess, man. Let's just call it what it is. It's a hot mess.
Yeah, I know this because so what does everyone have to say? This is wrote by Jeff Johns. He was a collaborator in the whole process. Jim Lee, the drawings on the board. This is just a transcript of that board. Who's he calling you? Why are you calling you fucking dummy? It's unnecessary, isn't it? Who are you saying that to, Patel? I know this because Zach revealed it on a live stream. Terrio wasn't on board at the time when this was done. Okay. No, I get that, but and I know like Jeff Johns was involved, but like Jeff Johns. Oh, to another guy. Okay, sorry, man. I just was like, I didn't understand. Like, just was like, you fucking dummy. Yeah. I hope you're not talking to one of the people. Be peaceful in there if you are talking to somebody else. Yeah, like I know that Jeff Johns was involved, but like Jeff Johns is very hit and miss, so it doesn't surprise me that this could be part of his storytelling.
Honestly, it would surprise me if this was like a Jeff Johns a draft, because Jeff Johns, I understand he's more of a comic book guy, you know, than a movie guy, but he knows these characters better than this, than to like draft something this radically different.
Well, like, to be fair to the draft, I don't see anything in it that says like this is, apart from Superman, that this is going against the fundamentals of the character. It's just Superman and Lois that seem to be like really messed up. Actually, he seems to be doing an okay job with a few of them. I'm not really getting what Flash is doing in all of this. You know, Cyborg seems to be doing, Cyborg seems to be doing a lot. Batman seems to be doing a lot. Wonder Woman just has a side plot that doesn't seem to be connected to anything, but at least it's something, you know, like where you get to see Themyscira again. But like, what are your thoughts? Come on, tell me. Gimme.
I'm glad that Zack Snyder is no longer employed at Warner Brothers, because this would have been absolutely god awful. I would have sat through this movie. I would have gone back up to the ticket booth and I would have slapped the person behind the counter and said, "Give me back my money." You know,
I would have, you know, Tomlin from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I would have just walked up to a building like a window, just like that. Like man just falling out. Except it wouldn't have been that high because I don't really want to kill myself. Yeah, like it's very, very I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, like, it's kind of one of those things that I'm actually kind of curious to see, in a way. Like, it's such a hot mess that I wouldn't even mind like an animated film version just to see what the fuck. I want. Sure. But if he's doing it, I want it to be exactly what it was. Not any like, oh, with hindsight, I'm not going to make Lois bang Bruce. I want him to do an animated version of exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah, that's fine. And by the way, I just, for what it's worth, I just Googled who wrote the Snyder Cut and it came up with Chris Terrio. So take that for what you will.
The Snyder Cut.
The actual Snyder Cut.
Yeah, no, Chris Terrio did write that, but I think what Monal was saying was that that when they were storyboarding this, it was Jeff Johns and Zack Snyder coming up with this story.
Oh yeah, I could totally see them bouncing the ideas off of each other on storyboard.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Superman though was like that. Jeff Johns would be treating Superman like this. That's what I'm shocked at.
I am too. I am too.
Mm.
Monel, I'm sorry. Zach is very much not in DC. This is his last hurrah. And if you believe that he's going to be in DC after this, you should probably go see a therapist.
Guys, come on, we can all get along.
I mean, Monel is starting to strike me as a cultist. I have to say, he seems like a Snyder fan, not a DC fan. So he's riding that Snyder cock, man. Like the Marvel fanboys ride that Marvel cock. He's riding that Snyder cock.
Wait. Let's. Well, now, can you give us some idea of where what your position is? I don't know that that's true. I don't, because he's saying a lot of things which are like confusing. So, LOL, Wonder Woman 84 was produced by Zack Snyder. I think he's talking like to a cancer. I don't want Zack Snyder's
Snyder was given a producer credit on a lot of things just contractually. He didn't have anything to do with any of it.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't get what his position is. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't. I don't know if he's saying that he wants Zack Snyder.
Down below.
So you are. Please stop spamming.
Above that, Monel says happy cultist. So yeah, I think I have him pegged right.
Oh, you're a happy cultist, right? Okay, well, okay. So, I was gonna say that. So you want Zack Snyder back after this, right? But I don't know that he is going to be back, and I think part of the problem is that like it's been such a hassle. Mm-hmm. Even like once they actually said yes, you would have thought like the Snyder fans would be happy, but they've just been pushing for more and more stuff. Like now it's like restore the Snyderverse and all of this kind of stuff. And my thing is, I don't understand, just because there are a lot of fans of something, and there aren't, I think there's a lot of Snyder fans, but I don't think there's a significant amount where it's, it's worth losing all the other side of DC's fandom, right?
Monel, you are out of your goddamn mind. HBO Max spinoffs of the Snyderverse are not coming. HBO does not. HBO look. Warner Brothers or AT&T has realized that they fucked up giving him the money, because they're really, really, really worried about how poorly this is going to perform on HBO Max. Warner Brothers wants nothing to do with the Zack Snyder. So moving forward, the Snyderverse is going to be left in the dust, and you cultists can suck it. I'm just saying.
He's coming out with claws. I've never seen Shaun so like aggressive. All right,
I get hit with these cultists every day on my channel, man. I'm tired of them.
I don't know, man. Like they might continue the Snyderverse. You don't know that. Like if it's successful, like it's
not going to be successul. It's not. It's not. It's going to be the worst decision that HBO has ever made, and it's because AT&T doesn't know how to run a movie business. They're a phone company.
Look, I agree with you that like the Snyder, like everything that has happened since must have given them pause. Like, but I'm just saying, if it is successful and if it is somehow good, because remember, this isn't Snyder's full vision. That's what I have to say to you, and that's what's going to annoy me, because when if it does get good reviews, because Jeff Johns was giving them notes, John Berg was giving them notes, Kevin Tsujihara was saying, no, we're not having any more of this dark Superman anymore. So it then ends up doing well, and everyone's going to be saying, oh, see, Zack Snyder was a genius and he did all that. And it's like, no, it's because he got a lot of notes from the studio. And that helped him shape the movie into something good. So if you want another film that's actually good that everybody loves, you better hope that the studio puts him on a leash again. If he is going to continue with anything on HBO Max, for instance.
Well, if they do continue the Snyderverse in any way, I would see them doing it in animation form. I don't see them doing live action, you know. Yeah, Monel, HBO Max gave $70 million at least for Snyder cut, and that was for a 4-day shoot. You know, where was the Snyder cut that Zack Snyder kept saying, and Jason Momoa kept saying, Ray Fisher kept saying, "Yeah, man, I just saw the cut. It's great. It's ready to go." When HBO Max said, "Hey, yeah, we'll do your Snyder cut," why wasn't it put on the air immediately? You know why? Because it was raw footage. There was nothing done CGI. So they had to take $70 million, shoot 4 minutes of extra footage, and the rest went into making Cyborg look like he wasn't wearing half of a green leotard and everything else. And by the way, I don't know if you've paused through the scene.
Hell no, read about the movie. What do you think? Mate, like, we do our research, dude. We do our research.
If you pause through the scenes of the trailer, the CGI in certain scenes, especially on Cyborg, look atrocious. So if this is the DC you want, Monel, then you're welcome to it. But this is not going to be the DC that's going to happen after Flashpoint. You're just going to have to deal with that, my friend.
These are fighting words, man. These are like straight up fighting words. I'm not as against it as you know, Shaun is. I want to see what the movie does. I want to see what the movie is first.
But I'm sick and tired of people like Monel shouting people with difference of opinions down just because they don't see eye to eye with them. You know, I'm curious to see what the.
Has he been on your channel before or something? Because it seems like the antagonism is high or something.
No. If he has, I would have never noticed somebody's insignificant as Monel in his comment.
Okay, all right. Let's go back to this synopsis. So,
no one claimed that the VFX were finished. Oh, please! Oh my God, get your head out your butt, man.
Actually, I'll have to say this: Jason Momoa really implied that it was.
Yes,
he really implied that it was to the guy. It was like there was a campaign. I mean, like, Zack Snyder played it kind of quite smart, a little bit dirty, if you ask me, because he led his fans to believe there was a full version that could just be released. There's no doubt that that was what he was doing. That was what he was implying. And then, you know, when they went to him and said, all right, just release what you have, he said, dude, I'm not doing it. I'd rather it just remain a myth. So he would have left you guys, right, not even being able to see anything of what his vision was if they didn't, you know, pony up like 70 million for him to fix it.
At least 70 million.
He held them hostage, essentially. It's highly unethical, to be honest. I mean, it really is.
Much. The only reason I agreed to it is because they needed something for HBO Max that would bring in the subscribers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an unethical person, so I don't mind that it was highly unethical. But it was highly unethical what he did. And yeah, I don't, you know, it's one of those things. I'm not as against him as you are, because I've enjoyed some of his work. I understand why you're against him, though, and we can have a little discussion about that, like, after.
Monel, dude, this isn't my channel, and to bring up somebody's viewership is just shows that you're a piece of shit. You know, come to my channel sometime. You know, I would love to debate you, but I know you won't show up because you're a pussy.
I'll referee, bro. I'll referee.
Yeah.
If you want to, you could, like, oh, you can't jump on even now, can you? Because it's only 2 people who can 3 people?
I think it's only 2.
Anyway, I don't want you to jump on right now because I need to finish this. But like, yeah, man, I'll referee that.
Yeah,
You want
but
to jump on sometime, Monel?
bring it, Monel. Bring it. You come over to my channel, Shaun Stackhouse Reacts. Bring your bag of bullshit, and we'll see what happens.
All right. So, in the meantime, Lois tells Superman he has to warn the others. Lex has a plan. Sorry, I'm just this. Just the writing is so ridiculous.
Lex has
Uh,
a
with information from Lois on Lex's Injustice League, Superman saves the League, stopping Maru from releasing the gas on Themyscira, and Black Manta from killing Aquaman, and Len from taking out Cyborg. Meanwhile, Bruce reveals to Lois, although he's alive, he was hit. There's a darkness growing across his body. He's in pain, but they need to keep fighting. He tells Lois on as he boards the bat plane, I could have had a life outside of the cave with you. Bruce leaves as across the world. I'm sure now I'm missing pages or something.
Probably.
Something's going on here. Earth unites against Darkseid. Darkseid's full-scale invasion begins, and it's too much for the Justice League to handle on their own. But they won't have to. Led and inspired by Superman, the countries of the world come together. Armies, air forces, navies. Wonder Woman and her mother lead the Amazons off Themyscira to join the war. In the oceans, Aquaman pleads to the Seven Kingdoms, declaring there is an eighth, the surface world, and they must be allies, not enemies. The Seven Kingdoms rise to join the Amazons and the surface. The entire world becomes a Justice League. In a Lord of the Rings-like finale, the history of the three armies that first battled Darkseid echoes itself today. The world of man, the Amazons, and the Atlantean. As the battle continues, Green Lantern... Wait. Have we not had a Green Lantern in this fucking universe yet?
No, this is the first mention, man.
That's ridiculous, bro.
First mention.
And what about Martian Manhunter?
I haven't even seen or
I
heard
thought he was supposed to be in this next movie. Like, surely he should have been part of
you would think that he would have been brought on early on, right?
Yeah, and Green Lantern, like, he should have been in the first scenes, right? All right. He should have been, like, off in Oa or something doing some shit. So, as the battle continues, Green Lantern joins the fight along with the alien Green Lantern Corps. It's the entire DC universe together for the very first time on a scale unlike any that's ever been seen, battling to save the world together. During the battle, Hippolyta dies, saving her daughter, proud of what she's done. The Flash is able to move so quickly he masters his powers, existing in two places at once. Unstoppable, he takes out an entire army himself. Cyborg is able to overpower the mother boxes, taking control of them and triggering a chain reaction that destroys them, weakening Darkseid. It's ultimately a dying Batman who sacrifices himself to save the League and the world, destroying Darkseid. Wait,
Real.
How does Batman die and sacrifice himself to destroy Darkseid? Is quite powerful, yo. You can't just have Batman sacrifice himself to... The Batman fanboy is strong in this, bro.
Oh, facts. Yes, sir.
The Batman fanboy is strong. Oh man, my internet's unstable. I don't know if this is gonna like mess up my thing, but wow. That was kind of epic in places, though. You have to admit.
Oh yeah.
It was a cool feat to see.
For sure.
That was kind of epic with the armies of man and like fighting with the Amazons and the Atlanteans. That would have looked dope, and that would have come out before Endgame.
That would have come out
around the time of Endgame.
Justice League 2 would have, I think, come out before Endgame. Yeah, for sure.
So, That is something you have to admit. But like, all right, let me go through like some of the points because there was a lot of bullshit in that. Um, so I didn't quite get like so Lois is with information. Lois Lex's injustice. Okay, so I like the bit where like obviously Themyscira is being attacked and all of them are like Atlantis is being attacked. All of that sounds like they would be cool scenes. But
Yeah.
what I didn't get was so led and inspired by Superman, the countries of the world come together. You know, at this point, Superman has to be really fucking inspiring, and he hasn't been like
No,
through the whole thing, and he's a cuckold in this apparently. So
yep.
I don't know how inspiring he'll be like to the whole world. It's not just the suit that makes him inspiring, it's the actions that make him inspiring. And he's not a man. He even said, that was one thing that pissed me off on the last page. I forgot to mention where he goes, this is a battle between gods. Superman doesn't see himself as a god.
No, he doesn't.
He sees himself as a small town boy from Kansas.
He's a farm boy, man. That's all he knows. He just happens to have these extraordinary abilities, but that does not define him. What defines him is Jonathan Kent's what he left with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, and that's he sees himself as a man, like and he just happens to have these powers, and he's like, since I have them, like let me help people with it, like let me, might as well either. Do you know what I mean? Because of like that, training that he's got, or sorry, not training, but like moral kind of, instilling of morals that he has from Jonathan Kent, as you said. So yeah. I just don't like when he talks like that, like in this. I don't know that Zack Snyder understands that that's pushing us away from Superman. You want Superman to feel as close, like to one of us as possible, right? That's his whole thing. Batman is more the aloof one. He's the more detached one.
I think you're right. I don't know, man. That was a whole lot of. I mean, I'm gonna need some time to wrap my brain around all of
to digest all of it.
Whew.
There's one more page.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't see how any of this is in order because this is all of the pages that were there. So I have no idea how this can be in order. Like, no matter how I put these together, they all would have just been a mess. So in the aftermath, Diana becomes the new queen of the Amazons, leading them to rejoin the outside world and restore and inspire peace. With the Amazons at her side, Diana negotiates peace between the countries of the world, unlike anything in history. So this I like, but I think Diana should have been more involved in this whole film. It sounds like she wasn't really doing shit.
Yeah.
But like this I like, but Diana should have been doing this shit from the beginning.
I agree.
This is not like that's what her place is, to be an ambassador of peace. Arthur is recognized by the kingdoms as the true king that has helped unite the world. The skepticism over his human heritage not only gone, but replaced with admiration.
Yep.
Okay. Cyborg evolves to become a god of the digital age and able to transform himself to look human again. All right, him and his godlike shit again. Lois mourns Bruce's death. Superman looks closer. There's a page missing. There's definitely a page missing because you're right. I heard about that whole bit about Superman having to find out like that Lois. We'll talk about that after because we both know that. So
Yeah.
We'll talk about that after. Here we go.
The end.
Oh, right. No, no, no. Lois mourns Bruce's death. Superman looks closer, realizing that Lois is carrying Bruce's child. Lois admits it, but he already knows. Maybe he always did, he says. He always knew he was a cuckold. He saw what he needed to, but he doesn't shy away. Instead, he embraces Lois and her unborn child. He has a reason to be Clark again.
God.
20 years later, after a memorial commemorating the Batman's sacrifice, Commissioner Barbara Gordon asks Lois, "What are you going to tell him?" Referring to telling Lois's son the truth about his father. For the first time in decades, crime is returning to Gotham, and it needs the Batman again. Various Justice League members like Martian Manhunter present. Lois takes her son to the Batcave and reveals the truth. That his father was Bruce Wayne. Oh, shit. So Superman's been fathering him all this time, and she just like drops that on him, like, so that's
But
cold.
I mean, all of that's for
Superman
nothing.
is that.
All of that's for nothing unless this kid has been training in all, like, everything that Bruce Wayne had been training in at such a young age. You know, I mean, sure, okay, maybe you could give him like a Terry McGinnis suit, you know, that like amplifies his strength and something like that, you know, as long as he knows like basic like self-defense and what have you. But that is weak as hell, man.
Yeah, and in Gotham, rising from the shadows and out into the moonlight, we have an all-new Batman. Of course, Batman has to finish it.
Of course.
That was trash.
That was utter trash.
I don't know what the fuck was that Superman Lois like thing right at the end as well. Like, I'm gonna say this. I want to see this as an animated film.
That'd be great.
I want everyone to see this as a fucking animated film. Just because it's so bonkers that like anybody even thought of this. You're going to get Lois pregnant. So it all hinges around like some Maury Povich, Jerry Springer fucking, it's your daddy, it's his daddy, it's, you know, like, or he's the daddy, you know, like, what the fuck is going on? This is the Justice League. You know, these epic characters. I can't believe it comes down to like a Jerry Springer story at the center of it.
It does, and unfortunately, that's all Hollywood really knows how to do right now.
But it's more than that. It's the Batman fanboyism. That's it.
Oh yeah. God.
Let's make Batman cool. How can we make him cool? We'll have him bang Lois. Yeah, like, you know, it's just. It's kind of stupid. He's cool enough. You don't need to like put Superman down to make Batman.
No, that's the thing. You don't have to tear any of these characters down to build any of them up. You know, they all stand on their own.
It's something that is, you're right, it's a recent trend in Hollywood. Like, Supergirl's stronger than Superman, right? Like in the TV show, right? And like Supergirl, he's like, you're the real hero, and all of this kind of bullshit. It's like, dude, like, you don't need to do that to make Supergirl cool.
No,
Supergirl
you don't.
Do her own thing and be heroic and whatever. You don't need to do that. And then, yeah, like they do it a lot these days, and it's really annoying. You need to build all the characters up to be as awesome as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they did it in Justice League with the Justice League to make Superman look like super powerful. They just had him beat the crap out of everyone like they were just like children, as opposed to like the strongest, you know,
right.
characters in.
And like when I mean, say what you want about Justice League, but when Superman was tracking Flash in Flash time, you know, like his eyes were like locked in with his as the Flash was like running at super speed. That you saw the Flash's face. He's like, "Oh shit, he can see me." I thought that was great.
You like that? Well, I liked that bit, just that bit.
Hmm.
But the fact that Superman could catch up with Flash bothered me. The fact that Flash couldn't do anything except like trip and fall bothered me. Like he couldn't phase
Flash
through
is
shit.
obviously
He
faster, but
he
but
couldn't.
Superman can see, and it makes sense that Superman could see in at least quasi Flash time. I mean, if Flash was running like the fastest he probably could, Superman wouldn't be able to track that. But he was just running fast enough to get around, and Superman was able to. It makes sense.
I understand that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that you need to give the Superman, the Flash, like a good fight with Superman. Like you can't just not. It doesn't have to be like Flash is getting hits on Superman. But what I mean is like Flash can do some shit, right? He can phase through stuff. He can manipulate like particles in like in structures and turn them into explosives. He can do a bunch of shit. And
yeah.
if you're trying to sell us on, oh, the Flash is awesome, oh, Wonder Woman's awesome, Cyborg's awesome, then you have to let them have like at least something, like a little one,
The problem is that Flash, that Barry Allen didn't even know how to use his powers. He did. I mean, he didn't even know about the Speed Force.
Yeah, but he even says it in the film himself, like when Batman is like, "You're fast," he goes, "Oh, that's an oversimplification." So he obviously knew something. He knew that he could do more than run.
Yeah, but he didn't know like how to tap into it. And
what do you mean by that statement then?
Because there,
what could he?
I believe that Barry Allen in Justice League is not aware of the Speed Force.
Yo, Manal, chill with that shit, man. I give a fuck what Shaun thinks, and a lot of people on his channel give a fuck what he thinks. He's very respectful. Usually, you're obviously annoying him, so chill with that shit.
It's all good, man. I challenged him to come onto my channel, and he didn't say anything. So, just like a true Snyder cultist.
Yeah, look, and I'm respectful to everyone on my channel, everybody who watches and whatever. But just let's chill with all of this stuff. It's just a movie in the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Like the Flash? No, man. I'm gonna have to go again. I thought that scene was the worst scene in the movie for me, and I know maybe as Superman fans, like you're a Superman fan, and
worse
is like what they're doing to Superman. What they did to Superman in BVS. They did to the Justice League in Justice League, right?
Okay.
Making Superman look like a fucking dullard who would like get shot twice by kryptonite, cannons just to make Batman look extra cool. Yeah. I don't like that shit. These are fucking, there are Flash fans out there who've been waiting for the day. Like they would see, oh yeah, like I know, like Flash will be able to speed around Superman. Like they played with their toys in their bedroom, like what Flash could do and how Superman would stop them, and they just left their gutted. Like, oh, all right. Do you know what I mean?
You're right. I mean, he is the fastest man alive, and clearly he is faster than Superman. And I liked at the end, where they started off on the race, comic book accuracy, that's cool.
Yeah, the race bit. The race bit was cool, but I don't even think. Yeah, go on. Sorry,
I was just like little pieces of fan service, not much in the Justice League movie. Towards the end, like. The last maybe 10 minutes of the movie were probably the best.
Yeah, I liked when Superman came back, but I just think that Superman was too OP. Like to me, it's like, you're taking the piss where like Superman's flying faster than fucking Flash when Flash is like saving that family. You know, it's like, dude, Superman don't fly as fast as the Flash when Flash is like trying to run, save the family. It's just,
Well,
I guess maybe it's because
that's an
maybe
argument. That's been an argument between Flash fans and Superman fans for a long time. When it's always like, well, is Superman slower than the Flash on a foot race, and faster than him if he were to race him while he was flying? That is a constant back and forth between Superman and Flash fans.
To me, Flash is more powerful than Superman. Ultimately, that's how I see it. Like, I've always seen that for me is the more interesting dynamic, where Flash is really the most powerful on the team. He's not as, he doesn't have the belief in himself yet that he can, he needs to work up to that power. But ultimately, when he lets loose, he's the most powerful. That's how I see it.
That is an interesting view.
I mean, have you not come across that kind of way of thinking in the comics before? Because that's something.
No, not really. Because I mean, yeah, like the Flash he can run and run and run around Superman, but all it takes is once for Superman to get a hold of Flash, and Superman can rip him apart.
No, look, Flash can time travel. He can he runs so fast that he can do.
In Superman, the movie Superman time traveled. He reversed it.
He can hit with the power of an exploding dwarf star or whatever the fuck it is, right? He's literally
Superman has collapsed a black hole in his hands.
Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about. That this is the problem, right? Superman fans, and I understand it, right? You want to see your guy win or whatever.
Oh, dude, I love the Flash.
When Superman is like that, that's when he's unrelatable. That is when he's too OP, and people,
when he sneezes away a galaxy, an entire galaxy.
I hate that. And the reason they do that, the only reason, is not to make Superman look cool, but to make Batman look extra cool when he beats Superman. That's why they make him that powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's only to make Batman, like, Superman should be, like, there should be some limits, on how he uses his power, because the reason Flash can run so fast is because of his access to the Speed Force.
Right.
If Superman did the same thing according to physics, he would destroy the universe. If he went at light speed, right, it would create because he's not protected by the Speed Force, it would just act the way like things in the physical world act. And if you have something racing at light speed in the real world, it would burn up everything that it comes into confrontation with. So really, Superman should be like, supersonic speed, not like not like Flash, to me. So that's why Flash, because of his speed powers, can do so much more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from on that, and I can't completely disagree. I mean, their power sets are completely different. They can do similar things, as far as like feats of speed, but Flash does have the title fastest man alive for a reason. I mean, that's how we're going to get Flashpoint. Most likely because he's probably going to go home or go back and try to save his mom, like he did in the comic book, and that screws things up. I mean, he did Flashpoint on the CW's TV show, and he screwed everything up in the timeline that he do. So he can do time travel.
I mean, and also, it wasn't just Flash, it was like the whole Justice League. You can't do that to the whole Justice League. I'm sorry. Like, no. I don't care if you're Superman or not. You don't hold Wonder Woman and Aquaman up like they're fucking nothing, and they can't.
No, Wonder Woman should have smacked him around, man. She should have been brawling.
Yeah, that should have been. And think about it this way: what makes the better scene? Like,
I'd rather see a big ass fight until they knock some sense into Superman.
right, exactly. That would have been the better scene. Even if Superman wins in the end, the
Mhm.
Justice League actually being able to do something. And honestly, it's almost like that if that scene is in the film as it is, I'm not gonna like this film. I can tell you. Like, and
That
it won't
scene's not
and
going to
it
be in the
won't
film.
and it won't be as a critic, like as like a fair criticism of the film, like as I'm just being objective and being a film. I won't like the film simply as a fanboy. I'll be like, okay, fuck it.
Now, I highly believe that film that scene will not be in the film because I am almost certain that Joss shot that scene, and no Joss scenes are going to be in this movie.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. That is one scene that I'm kind of like I've got my eye on, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Anishka Jaswal says Kong fan better than Snyder cultists. All right, yeah, it's true. uh, all right. So anyway, so there's that, and then obviously the affair thing just at the end here, where like
Yeah. What's
Lois
up?
is telling Superman. Oh, sorry, Lois basically admits to Superman about her baby is just so weird to me. Like it's the weirdest thing in this whole film, and that being a centerpiece would have just like ruined the whole story for me. I wouldn't have been able to
Oh,
get
for sure, for sure. I mean,
oh, mm,
so I mean, Batman at the end of BVS said, "I failed him in life, but I won't fail him in death." And then you go and you bang Lois.
yeah, exactly. By the way, guys, like, subscribe, and obviously when it's finished, do comment. But yeah, exactly. I mean, it contradicts what he said at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. I don't. I'm just trying to get into Zack Snyder's head on that. It's like, do you think he's just unconscious bias towards Superman? He can't help himself, or do you think it's like a conscious kind of like fuck Superman fans, like he's trolling?
I mean, when the news broke that Zack Snyder was going to do Man of Steel, he made some very poor comments towards Superman. Like, I mean, it was clear that he did not like the character. So I think it's very conscious.
Do you mean on the Watchmen, like when he was talking about Watchmen, how he wanted to tear Superman down, and Superman's
Oh,
the enemy,
yeah,
right?
I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it was in the Watchmen. Like
Yeah.
where he's saying something like he would like to fuck Superman in the ass and shit like that.
Yeah,
And
he wants to tear him down. But
yeah,
to be fair, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt in those comments and just say, like, look, he's talking about like the fact that Watchmen is deconstructing all these superheroes. So surely Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and all of those guys should have been the enemy in that sense. But I don't really see why you'd even look at it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, Watchmen is set in a completely alternate universe.
mm,
If you had the Watchmen in like the Prime universe with Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, there would be problems.
mm.
Now, of course, Dr. Manhattan would have the final say, right? Because I mean, who in the Justice League is going to be more powerful than Dr. Manhattan? But yeah, I don't know.
Flash.
You think so?
Flash. Yeah, I do. I think Flash is the only one who could give Dr. Manhattan any problems, in fact.
But ultimately, do you think Flash would lose? Because I mean, Doctor Manhattan is like, you want to talk about OP? Doctor Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan's OP as shit. But I
Yeah,
don't know how he interacts with. I suppose that's been answered now with the Watchmen Justice League crossover.
yeah,
But before, just if you were just going off the Watchmen comic,
yeah.
and what he does in that, then all you could really say is like he's the most powerful person on that earth, and
Mhm.
you don't know how he'd interact with other powerful beings, especially Martian Manhunter as well might give him problems because of the telepathy.
Mm, that's true. And yeah, I forgot about Martian Manhunter. Yeah, so maybe Martian Manhunter. Maybe. No, I'm
Superman,
trying.
Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman are fucked in that fight. Like I don't see how they're doing anything. But
Constantine, maybe.
yeah, with the
Uh,
magic, so you don't know
mhm,
how that he interacts with that.
yeah, maybe Zatanna
But
and Constantine. Maybe. Ra's al Ghul, maybe.
no, why? What's Ra's al Ghul gonna do against him?
Well, I mean, he's been around for millennia, so
Mm.
he knows he knows these incantations and what have you. So he
Well,
might be of some use.
well, the problem is Doctor Manhattan knows everything that's going to happen to him,
Yeah,
unless like he's surrounded by tachyon particles or whatever. That's the only way. So anyway, you know, off
of
the point
course.
now. But so I'm going to be honest. There were parts of that I really liked. I liked the epic battle at the end as well,
Me
and I
too.
think that would have looked super cool, like from a Zack Snyder shot kind of big time action scene. I didn't really get what Wonder Woman was doing in there. Was she dead, or because was any of this the nightmare vision? I didn't get that if it was the nightmare vision or not.
If it was, it didn't seem like it to me. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place, and I'm not. I think I must have missed pages because I remember some stuff about Flash time traveling and bigger scenes setting up like this whole relationship between Superman and Lois and Batman. So I'm pretty sure like most of them were so like most of the Justice League was supposed to be dead, right? Like Darkseid had killed them, and then Flash
In
had
that
to
way,
come
yeah.
back. So that was a problem for me because I was like, okay, so you're going to have Batman, Cyborg, and Flash being the only ones alive, and they're
Pretty
like trying
much.
to. Because that to me is like that's whack, isn't it? You're like, this is a Justice League movie, right? And I know you might want to add stakes, but he had a like there was a whole movie or something where those guys were dead in his version.
Well,
Like,
yeah. I mean, it's just as whack as having a Justice League movie and not having Superman in it until like the last 20 minutes.
right,
I, I
yeah,
mean, who does that?
yeah,
Who- I
and
mean,
and is Superman at that point? He's controlled by Darkseid during that whole period, right? So it's Flash, Batman, um, and Cyborg basically trying to go back in time to warn Lois
mhm.
or something. I don't know, or warn Bruce about Superman or something like
Yeah, 'cause
that. And
that
how
was that scene from what BVS. You know, she's the key. And I'm too soon. Like I'm too late or too soon or whatever it was, and yeah.
mm,
So there's so much shoddy storytelling that like even when you watch the movies back to back to back,
mm.
you still have like searing plot holes. You're like, well, what about this? I mean, I don't understand where you're going. You just completely you set this up and you just didn't come back.
Right. I know. So I was just thinking that, um, having a whole kind of like, if they were going to do that, I would accept it only one way: if it's only Cyborg and Flash. Right. The fact
Okay.
that he's put Batman in there,
Yeah.
that offends me, because now you really are just like, it's plot armor for Batman. You're using plot armor to keep him in there all the time because
I feel you because
you've
you know what?
already established.
I was just offended when they made the first Justice League Dark animated movie, and Batman was like the prime character in it. I'm like, really? You've got to have Batman and Justice League Dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just pushing Batman into situations that he shouldn't naturally be in.
Right.
And, if it was just Cyborg and Flash, like all the rest of the Justice League got like murdered or whatever, and they just had them for like, let's say, half a movie where they're trying to figure out how to sort out the timeline together.
That actually might be interesting.
Yeah, then I would be like, oh, okay, like, because they know they need their leaders, right? They know they need Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman to be able to like sort Darkseid out. Then I would be like, okay, then you're putting respect on all of their names, because all right, you need the three,
yep,
to be able to really like sort this guy out. But like just having Batman there using Cyborg like his own personal Swiss Army knife, right? and then Flash just, it doesn't do anything for me, that aspect of the story.
I mean, quite honestly,
go on.
I was just gonna say, quite honestly, most of that story treatment was embarrassing to me as a DC fan.
I can see that. I'd just be interested to see how all of the connective tissue of that came together, but definitely not as a movie.
No.
Like people
just imagine,
why did Warner Brothers do this? Because
right,
split fans.
Imagine that movie would have come out and then Marvel would have just been like, see what Warner Brothers is doing? I mean, they don't have a handle on their character or their characters of the universe. And at that point in time, I would have probably just,
I would have checked out.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't have wanted to, but I've been like, you guys have given me no choice. I've supported everything that the Snyderverse is throwing at me. I've paid to go see it, some of it multiple times. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if that were to become.
Well, this is what they don't understand. Like Snyder fans as well. Like, if you create a universe with a divided fandom, this is what happens. You get like people who passionately love it, people who passionately hate it, and it's conflicting, and it doesn't allow. The reason the MCU is so strong is because the fan base are united in their belief behind. I don't like all of the MCU films. I think a lot of them are like sauce, to be honest. Yeah. But the fandom is connected and unified in like this is that they're treating their characters all with respect. Now,
they've done a hell of a job over the past 11 years.
And now I'm putting the wrong thing up. Quote here up. Oh, every quote seems to be horrible. All right, so I'll leave the quotes off. Anyway, yeah, but do you get what I mean? Like, you can't make a Superman film where you divide old Superman fans and then create new Superman fans or fans of this new iteration, and and expect that there isn't just gonna you're just gonna create this civil war between the fandom, and it's
Right.
not
We've
good.
seen it in
It's
Star
not
Wars.
good.
Why do we need it anymore? We saw Star Wars just completely split down the middle between the OG fans and the Disney fans. And we I mean, I remember when fandom used to be something that we could all celebrate. We might not agree, but we don't have to agree because it's fandom. We can interpret it our own way. But here on Twitter, everything, if you don't agree, you're going to get shouted down.
Yeah, and so that again, we need a DC universe that everyone's on board with, and if it was like the only way to tell this story was to do these controversial things, then maybe I'd understand. But there is no reason that you have to make the center of your story that Batman has basically parented Lois's child. There's just no reason for it.
And then it ends with a new Batman.
And it ends with a new Batman. That's just weird stuff, also the same can be said of, and it's so rushed, isn't it? Like, where would you go after this? So Batman will just be his son, and then
I would assume this would have to be the end of Zack's 5-film vision or whatever it was,
but also the end of the universe. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, you'd have to reboot. You'd have to reboot, like a hard reboot.
Yeah. He's like finishing everyone's storylines, like taking it in directions that probably directors of the individual movies would be like, dude, Zack, maybe I want to do something with this character different to what you're, kind of going with. Hopefully there would have been a new person on Superman. According to this plan, you couldn't have any other Superman movies, like individual Superman movies.
No.
Because he's so caught up, entangled in this story.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
Yeah, it's a bizarre rush to the end,
So this makes me even more
no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Universe.
You could have saved everything if you'd just put Flashpoint like somewhere in the story, But this is going to make me more interested in the Snyder Cut to see exactly what it is. I mean,
what about Green Lantern not being there? Martian Manhunter wasn't
right
there in this whole fucking synopsis. They didn't play significant role.
How do you do that? I mean, you have two of some of the most powerful characters in DC, and they're no shows.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, have you got anything else you want to comment on in this, or?
So I did like some of the ideas, but I mean it's like reading this just reminds me of the documentary I saw about the Superman Lives or something, about the Kevin Smith script that he was writing back in the 90s, for Superman. And John Peters wanted all this outlandish stuff. He wanted Superman to fight like a big spider, and it's just yeah. And just reading and hearing some of this stuff, man.
This was for what's his name? What's the director of the Tim Burton's version of the Batman, right?
Yeah.
Version of the Superman.
Yeah,
right?
It was Burton Superman. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That had some really interesting ideas as well. you know, the way he was going to show Krypton and stuff like that was kind of interesting. But you're
I
right,
still would
altogether,
like to see Burton's Superman. That I mean, that would be interesting.
yeah,
But yeah, it makes me wonder if like 90% of the time, these people that are getting paid like large amount of money, they just like turn in like bullshit like this, and then it's the other people's jobs to just kind of pull what they can and scrape together what they can and make it as cohesive as possible. I mean, I
yeah.
have to. The process is better than that, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, the biggest thing was just you don't have Green Lantern, you don't have Martian, like at least Green Lantern, at the
Yeah,
very least Green Lantern, but you don't have Martian Manhunter. This Super 5 arc thing doesn't seem to. Where did he become Superman exactly? Just because he
right.
inspired the world to fight behind him or something for some bizarre reason, even though he's been evil and he's been, so that didn't really make sense to me. So
That's
that,
exactly
that
right.
that isn't like the classical Superman. And then you've killed most of the Justice League in one film and just made like one of the films basically a Batman movie, right? Where like Flash and Cyborg are just being told what to do by Batman.
Pretty much. Pretty
That's
much.
disrespect on a high level. Like, I don't mind killing off the Justice League at a certain point, but you that should be like, for like 15 minutes of the film, and then or like 20 minutes of the film, and then Flash has to like sort it out, and then
Yeah.
like then they figure out how to like avoid that fate. That
And since there wasn't any type of hierarchy put in place, like with the Watchtower, John was always on monitor duty, and he would dispatch assignments to whoever, and you could even do the same with the Hall of Justice, man. You needed like a central base of operations where you could dole out assignments, and you put this person with this person, and yeah, man. I mean, there was so much they left out, so
yeah
much.
yeah. I agree, man. I agree. But in the absence of anything else, I can leave it there.
Yeah.
That was our epic discussion of what happened. I don't know if we got it in order, but we got
It's hard
pretty.
to tell, honestly.
I can't see how any of those could have gone in any different place, and it still would have made as much sense as
I agree completely.
the other. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. It's Shaun Stackhouse. Please do subscribe. I will leave his details in the comments or in the description box. And yeah, like really appreciated you. I know it's been a long day for you.
It's
So
all good, man.
really,
It's all
really
good.
appreciate you coming on. And
Happy.
and thanks again, guys, for commenting, for your passionate and at times controversial statements in the comments box. And yeah, see you on the flip side. Love you 3000.
Later, guys.
Later.